Hi, my name is Mick Harris, and I'm a real estate and business attorney here at Tonkon Torp, a leading full-service business law firm in Portland, Oregon, where we're sitting here in the lounge on a beautiful sunny summer afternoon. I'm joined here today with David Petersen and Jackson Lewis. How does the current state of the commercial real estate market impact how you advise clients with respect to the issues that we're talking about? David, do you want to start?
I think that one of the mistakes that a lot of people make is to make assumptions that the way things are the way things will always be. And you can probably cite no better example of that in our history than over the last 5 years in the existence of the pandemic and the impacts that that's had on the commercial real estate market. If you were to take the Wayback Machine to 2019, what you would find is you're in an environment with extremely low interest rates, easy availability of capital from lenders, and a relatively robust development market. And what are they building in that development market? They're building apartments and they're building offices. And fast forward just a few months, and all of us who work in an office are stuck at home, working at home full time. And then as the pandemic eased, we transitioned into part-time work. And it looks like part-time work is going to be an important component of how we work in this country going forward. And if you have made assumptions back in 2019 that the demand for office space was always going to be the same as it was, you're going to be in a position to, you're going to be in an unenviable position where you have possibly straitjacketed your decision makers that are managing your family-owned real estate in a way that makes it more difficult to adjust and go in a different direction.
Wonderful.
To that point, so it's another area that people should think about when they're planning for transitions. As I mentioned, there's who owns it and then what do they own. One of the things that families are deeply concerned about is holding on to the assets. These assets have been the golden goose for the family for a long time, and so they might desire to retain those assets even when the founder is gone. And that's an interesting, if you die and your assets come under the management of a professional trustee, they're subject to something called the Prudent Investor Act or Prudent Investor Rule. And one piece of that is that it can require diversification. So in that case, you might have a trustee who's obligated under their rules to essentially diversify the portfolio. That may be not what the family wants. The family is able to essentially require the trustee to hang on to those assets, to retain the assets. And that's a good planning. There are a number of ways to do that. You can do it by, just giving the trustee the authority to hold on to the assets. You can direct the trustee to hold on to the assets. But if you do so, then you potentially run into the issue that David's talking about with, the world as it looked like when you made those plans may look very different when those plans take effect.
And I would say conversely to what Jackson's talking about from the lawyer's perspective, we really appreciate it when there's somebody like Jackson who's involved who may not have the emotional attachment to the asset in the same way that the family does, and can provide really sound advice, sound business advice, and a bit more of a dispassionate evaluation of what might be the best course forward to meet the needs. I think a lot of people have maybe they understand their needs and they can express their needs, but they make certain assumptions about how to achieve those needs that are based on incomplete information. When you have somebody like Jackson involved, they can provide you a much broader picture of what your options are.